Back you are with the news today. Now, final year MBBS students, resident doctors, nursing students are all being pressed into COVID services, and they are now up in arms. They are getting poor stipends, but they say they have no real benefits. In some states, the stipend is as low as rupees 100 per day. We're going to focus on the plight of junior doctors and medical final year students. Take a look at this report.
The pressure is showing. With India's existing doctor strength strained by the tsunami of COVID cases, the government recently took a slew of decisions. One of the biggest, putting final year MBBS students and young resident doctors into active COVID duty. The move was recommended by some of India's top healthcare minds, including Dr. Devi Shetty and Biocon chief Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. But the emergency move hasn't gone down well with medical students, with the Karnataka Association of Resident Doctors releasing a video criticizing the centre's announcements, saying it will only make lives difficult for residents who have prepared for these exams for several years, and that the government should offer better pay and risk incentives for this service.
You could have paid a very good risk allowance to resident doctors. You could have passed the final years and said, do not worry about exams and academics. This is a lifetime battle that you and we are fighting together. We will pay you accordingly for the services that you are doing. You do the job, we will support you. That you could have done. You are not doing that.
Apart from several different reasons, final year MBBS students, resident doctors and nursing students may be eligible only for a stipend and not even minimum wages as part of their new duties. With healthcare a state subject, in Himachal Pradesh for instance, this amounts to as little as 100 rupees per day for medical students and 50 rupees per day for nursing students for full day duties at a COVID ward. In comparison, an unskilled daily wage earner earns on an average more than 200 rupees per day under the Manrega.
You know, a doctor in Karnataka gets a pay of around 30 to 35,000. A doctor in Delhi gets a pay of around 90,000. A doctor in Tamil Nadu gets a pay of around 31,000. A doctor in Himachal Pradesh gets something. This inequality, that you are creating, that you could have normalized.
What's worse, young resident doctors already on COVID duty in Maharashtra have reached the end of their tethers, demanding that their existing stipend arrears be met before more COVID work is piled on them. On social media too, the angst is palpable among resident doctors and MBBS students, anxious with what lies ahead. The question now is, can India balance the need for more doctor strength with the demands and fears of its next generation of healthcare workers? Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is Dr. Dayanand Sagar, President, Karnataka Association of Resident Doctors, whose video has gone viral. Dr. Devashree Sane is third-year resident doctor at KEM Hospital. Appreciate both of you joining us. Dr. Sagar, ko gussa kyun aata hai? Why were you so angry? The Prime Minister wants to draft in more medical students, junior resident doctors, everyone into the COVID fight, exams postponed. Why are you so angry at the moment then, Dr. Sagar? Tell me.
I mean, if we cannot, raise the health infrastructure at this crisis, then we are never going to do it for the probably next 100 years or 200 years. At this crisis also, you are still, trying to exploit the students rather than, considering for more recruitment and more hiring already qualified doctors. But what you want to do is, when you want to scapegoat the students, just because they are within the contract period, just because they are treating them like bonded laborers. This is what triggers me, that they're not considering even the alternate options, recruiting the already qualified doctors, but they want to exploit the students. That's what makes me angry.
No, for example, the Prime Minister in his communique said medical personnel completing 100 days of COVID duties will be given priority in regular government recruitments. Medical interns will be deployed in COVID management duties. Those who complete 100 days of COVID duty will be given Prime Minister's distinguished COVID National Service Samman. You don't want all of this?
I mean, what has the awards got to do? I mean, Last year also in the first wave, armed forces flowered, a lot of flowers and petals on us. Does that give us anything? It hardly amounts to nothing in practical reality, having a certificate. And also when it comes to this 100 days, again, it is not for any other job or anything. They have said that for NEET PG exam, those candidates who have the certificate will be given a priority. If working 100 days will give them a priority, what about all the doctors, those who have worked for last 400 days? Since last March we have been working. What do we get? Nothing in return. And on the other hand, that is probably in a note to threaten the NEET PG aspirants, saying that if you don't have this certificate, we'll make this certificate an eligibility criteria to take a NEET PG seat, which is a threatening tone at which probably the government is saying. And also when it says 100 days, 3 days into the announcement, what they are more focused is on media interviews and, leaving a tweet. Has there been any guidelines that has been drafted and sent in the last 3 days on how they are going to make this 100 days count or how much of incentives they are going to give? No, the thing is, the recruitment process itself is going to take a period of around 2 to 3 months, because they will tell center will not form guidelines, they will tell health in the state segment. Within the state itself, different states are going to form different guidelines. By the time everything is ready, by the time administrative process takes toll, it is going to be, 2 to 3 months of period of time. And within this 120 days, that is before their exams, if you are saying 100 days, you have to produce certificate. What if somebody gets infection? What about somebody who does a 99 days duty? What about doctors who have been contributing in the pandemic for more than 1 year? Are they going to, all these things are, you say Jumla, so, that is like,
no, do you want to hire?
No, I'm saying it is like to create
a hype amongst Jumla, but what do you want? You want higher salaries? You want higher salaries? You want higher stipends? What do you want? Do you want the exams to be held now?
The thing is, when it comes to, NEET PG, there are students who are preparing for more than 1.5 years now. There may be very tiny, small fraction of students who say postponement is good. They are the students who have just passed out of internship, like who have not prepared enough. But let me tell you, exam was supposed to happen in Jan. Now it is like 1.5 years that the exam is not happened when compared to last exam. When elections can happen, when rallies can happen, when all the religious, gatherings can happen, why can't exams can happen for nearly 140,000 doctors in entire India who are qualified doctors? You cannot tell that they would be breaking COVID protocol or they are going to do, some mischievous activity. They are qualified doctors. See, the most funniest and the most ridiculing thing is, they said conducting exam would expose them for infection. Now the same authorities are telling, let them put them to COVID duties. That is the irony.
You have hit the nail so hard on the head that someone should be reading. Dr. Sane, what therefore? You are a third-year resident doctor. What is your main concern? What is the main demand of young doctors like you that would make you feel less angry with the so-called system?
In all honesty, there is so much injustice being meted out to all different strata of medical students. Be it students who want to get into medicine, those who want to get into postgraduate education, and those who are just finishing their MS or MD degrees. As resident doctors, there is so much dissatisfaction because with all the things that are happening, what we feel is that simply because we are at the bottom of this hierarchy in the public healthcare sector, we are just being used as, cheap labor. It's very sad, but simply because we are bound by the bond.
So what would you like to see?
Yes.
What would you like to see? If you feel you are being treated like bonded labor, what would you like to see?
Okay, so there are two aspects to this. Number one is when the COVID wave did hit us last year, we were all unprepared. There was an unprecedented rise in the number of cases, and therefore residents who were the first human resource at hand, they were called for, recruited, and of course we all did stand by and provide our services. Now 1 year has passed. We had a lot of time to have recruited alternative personnel, non-resident doctors, to have filled in these shoes. A very, very important area that is being neglected right now is that all residents across the board have lost out on academic training. For example, I am a general surgery resident, but for more than 1 year, I have received absolutely no general surgery training. So 3 years from now, we are going to have thousands of doctors who are going to be inefficient and inept. And the magnitude and the repercussions of having these doctors not trained at this time because they were exploited and just made to work in COVID will then be borne at that time. Heart attacks, strokes, cancer surgeries, all of these are also emergencies. You cannot just say that non-COVID cases are collateral damage. That's just wrong. COVID, non-COVID, all patients deserve to get adequate treatment. And as resident doctors, our worries, our aspirations, our hopes are always put on the back burner. Anything that we say, anything that we ask for, eventually it boils down to, the resident doctors are asking for a stipend hike. But there are so many other layers to all the difficulties that we are facing, which are never really understood or brought to the front. Like the most important example is the NEET PG itself. Why postpone an exam which will add doctors to the pool? You say you need doctors and then you postpone the very exam which will get these doctors in the picture. You do this and you prevent all of them from coming in. Then you say Sanman certificate. So that means the 400 days of service that we have given is not worthy of Samman. That means only if we give these 100 days, is this some sort of a gimmick? I mean, I feel it is a little disrespectful to the medical fraternity. Everybody here wants to serve.
Dr. Sane, you and Dr. Sagar have echoed the thoughts of thousands of young doctors. I say this as a father of a young doctor who has told me exactly a lot of what you all have both said. The time is there for someone to wake up. These shows that I do day after day are wake-up calls. And that's all that we can do at the moment. I hope that someone is no longer Rip Van Winkle. Listen to these young voices of young doctors. They are our future. Dr. Sane, Dr. Sagar, thank you so much for joining me. But I'm going to end today on a brighter note because I started about rural India and the collapse. But guess what? There is